Good evening and welcome back, where we have some late night overtime. Edmonton versus LA, 4-4 going in overtime. Oh boy. Yeah, might get nervous watching this team to begin with, and when I get to overtime, it's even more nervous. Also, how late am I willing to stay up? I don't know. The 2006 run? That would have definitely gone as long as the overtime went. That would have been like 20 years ago. Now, yeah, one overtime is pushing it. But three, I'm not interested until staying up until 2 in the morning just to see who scores. Plus, I predicted Edmonton and LA will go 7 anyway, so. Speaking of going 7, right now it's looking like Dallas isn't. Lost to Vegas again. They're down 2-0. Yeah, you'd think they were the ones who finished first overall, but I don't think they were. I think it was the Rangers. That finished first overall. And the Rangers aren't acting like it because I think they're up 2-0 on Washington, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at it here. Yes, they are. So, yeah. And Boston beat Toronto. They're up 2-1. And my phone says it's supposed to get up to 21 tomorrow. The forecast on the radio just keeps changing, so I don't really know. I may not need a jacket tomorrow to go to work. That sure might be a little bit chilly, but yeah, you never know. I keep saying we could use some rain. We could use some rain. Just saying we could use some rain. Earlier I seen a nice color photo of Ebbets Field when the Dodgers were in Brooklyn. I think it started construction in 1912. I think they started their first season in Ebbets Field. It was, I think, 1914. At that time, it was considered too large, but as the owner of the Dodgers, Charles Hercules Ebbets, once said, "Yeah, baseball's just in its infancy. Just wait a few years." By the 30s and 40s and even into the 50s, it got pretty intimate and pretty small. And the characters that went in there, that went to the games, Hilda Chester, always had a little sign that says Hilda is here. I was ringing a cowbell when the Dodgers made a good play or scored some runs. The Dodger Symphony. The Dodger Symphony. The emphasis on the phony. They didn't know a lick of music. They just made noises they're going through the stands there. You had Red Barber, who brought his own little countrified take on baseball, like rhubarb. Ducks on the Pond was like runners on base, rhubarb is success. Sitting in the tall cotton. And the Dodgers also had Vin Scully, who worked with the Dodgers for many, many, many years. 60-some years until he retired, and then sadly he passed away. And I swear as a child, spent many a Saturday afternoon watching baseball over the summer. Just because of Vin Scully. He didn't need a color commentator. He just, as he's calling the game, he'd tell a story about whoever's at the plate or whatever. It was great to listen to. Yeah, they spent like 44 seasons at Ebbets Field. Last season they were there was 1957. They lost their last game at home, by the way. Yeah, before they end up going to LA. Giants left New York for San Francisco the same year. I swear, I think Walter O'Malley convinced Horace Stoneham to move his team to California with him. It probably would have made sense, though, at that time. You had two National League teams in California. That way you didn't have to make one trip to San Francisco and then one trip to LA. You get both at once. Especially before expansion, is like played 11 games, 11 or from like 58 to 1961, 154 game schedule. 11 teams in either San Francisco or LA, and 11 games at home versus those teams. And then they expanded, and then they added two teams and expanded to 162 games. I think that was 18 games per team, and there's still one division. So it's like nine games out there and 9 games back home. If you're, let's say, the St. Louis Cardinals. It's 3 game series, like. Or that's probably how they do it. That's probably how they would have done it, probably. Or 4 and a 5. And they cut through both there at once. That way, kill 2 birds with 1 stone in 1 trip. Baseball in California proved so popular, they ended up adding an American League team in California in '61, the Angels. 7 years later, the Athletics left Kansas City for Oakland, and now we know the A's are leaving Oakland for eventually Las Vegas. They're going to spend the 25, the 26, and the 27 season in Sacramento. That way they can get a ballpark built for the A's. That's going to probably be an enclosed stadium because, well, people in Vegas will tell you the weather in the summer gets pretty damn hot. So it makes sense. So yeah. Fun times. Let's see, in my lifetime, how many teams have moved? How many baseball teams have been relocated since 1974 when I was born? I think just 2. Montreal moved to Washington, becoming the Nationals, and now the A's moving to eventually Las Vegas. They could go from Oakland to Sacramento, and then Sacramento. I don't know if you count that as 2 moves instead of 1 for the A's. I don't know. They're moving to Sacramento, and then you're going to end up moving to LA, to Las Vegas, LA. Yeah, Oakland will still be in the American League West. Of course, that would make my baseball map a little outdated. Because there's this baseball map puzzle I got hanging here. Has them in Oakland. I like to get an NHL logo puzzle with the same idea as baseball. But it needs the Kraken. But now the Coyotes are moving to Utah, so that's going to be a bad idea. That's going to end up outdated real quick. So yeah. Yeah, I think I've done enough talking for now. So in the meantime, and in between time, stay tuned for the next one.